Alright guys, so it is time to throw on some new timing goodies here and get this thing set up. So you saw we have the heads on, we have the valve train on, and those are working. So we want to go ahead and get everything aligned, and I have everything aligned already. So I'm gonna switch the camera around a little bit here. So we have our crankshaft. If you can see, we have the woodruff key. There's a timing mark right there. So this spot right here is your timing mark. So you align the two, and I did before I put the head on, I confirmed that this piston was at TDC. And then I went ahead and marked this so you guys could see, but your woodruff key line is at this tooth. Alright. 1 tooth, 2 teeth, 3 teeth. So your second and third are in line right here with the cam. Okay? And then your cam itself, the holes are horizontal with your coolant tubes. Okay? Now, this is actually, it's not TDC on the compression stroke or TDC fire. It's actually TDC getting ready to open the intake over here. So this is going to be much easier to go ahead and get the gears lined up, because if you try to rotate it 180 on the cam and line it up on the compression stroke, then you're fighting spring tension on the right cylinder, so it's a lot more difficult. So we're gonna go ahead and get everything installed on this. I'll show you how to do that, and then we will rotate it a few times. It should be just in line. Alright, let's see if we can do this in kind of one shot here. So we have our new chain. This is from David Silver Spares. You can still get a lot of stuff. So I'll put links in the description to the basic website, but you'll have to go and hunt down your parts from there. So we want to get this on here, get it aligned. That should be us right there. And it's hard to see, in fact almost impossible to see, but just right here, I'll draw a mark with the marker here. There's actually a mark cast into the block for your cam. So we draw a line straight through those lines. It should line up with these dots. And it would appear that we are doing just that. So I'm going to go ahead and just start these bolts. I'm just barely getting these tight for now. I'm going to pull them back out and do some blue Loctite on them whenever we confirm that our timing's good. So from here, again, I have new guides, also from David Silver Spares. A little oil on the pivot here. Got our new guide for the other side. Bushings. And from here we have our tensioner, and this is the updated version from, say, 79 to 81. This is the 82 and up, or 82, 83 I should say. I'm going to go ahead and put a wrench on the front. We will rotate this thing over, reconfirm our timing marks. All right. Between our second and third, cam's horizontal again, and I know that the intake is not moved. So peering down through the right head here, I can see the exhaust lobe is about right here. So this is on its compression stroke, or TDC on compression, and so it's getting ready to fire now. It'll compress down, exhaust will rotate forward by the time it starts coming back up. So I know it's in time now, and yeah, simple as that. So I'm going to rotate it a few more times and continue to button it up. And then this piece right here, I don't know if you can see, I just have a piece of like a WD-40 straw keeping tension off of this. There's a little slack you can see. So I got to pull that out too, but this should at least confirm timing. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull these out one at a time, put some blue Loctite on them, put them in, torque them to spec, and then I'm going to go ahead and torque this nut too. And that's it. Alright, so one more thing we're going to do to this engine, along with gaskets and seals, is replacing the springs within the starter clutch mechanism. So you can see this gear only rotates one direction. So I'll show you how that works. You get it out like this, start spinning it, slowly lift it to release it. There's these cylinders in here that are pushed on like a ramp, basically creating a wedge, and the spring goes into here. So we're going to slowly try to pick these things out without having everything fly all over the place. There's really nothing to these. They're just a cylinder. And there's your push pin and the spring. So basically the idea behind this is that you want to have equal pressure. Like if there's one worn out spring, this thing can just cause some really funky starting issues if it like loosens up or binds or something. They can be a nightmare. And obviously 3 little springs is well worth doing when you're this far in, because you can imagine how much you'd have to take that thing apart to replace these. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up and then we'll install it. Alright, so we're all cleaned up here. Get a little oil. We took this thing off by spinning. That's exactly what we're going to put it back on. There it is. Alright, so we've got the transmission in neutral here. I've already gone through the gears. So we have first gear, second, you get the idea. So always confirm, but yeah, right now we're back in neutral. So we can go ahead. Shift arm in here. Get that lubed up. We have a new spring. Just like that. Alright, so it's time to start prepping our cleaned and painted rear cover here. So I got to go ahead and install the G8 Stator along with the mechanical seal here. So this is actually a Yamaha, a cheaper version, but it's still quality. It's a Yamaha part. So I'll link this in the description, but if you go on the Moto Faction, like I've mentioned, you can get listings for all of this stuff and links. So we'll also do our water pump seal. And then we have our coolant pipe O-rings here from Honda. That's part of the mechanical seal. Our output shaft seal. And then we have our shifter seal. All brand new. We have our dowels, so don't forget those. So I'm going to go ahead and start slapping this thing together, and we'll get it back on the bike. So on the mechanical seal here, I actually had a little bit of an issue. I had to chop up a throttle housing, as you see, and go ahead and dial in the inside and outside diameter to get this thing in here. But it's really important you press this in a square fashion and just make sure you get it in right first try.